What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. President Trump says Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar are fighting ICE to distract from estimates, not literally YouTube, from estimates of $18 billion in fraud. $18 billion. Truly. But President Trump says, don't worry, we are on it. I don't know about y'all, but it says here, how would you rate your level of support of Trump and ICE? It's 100%, 75%, 50%. I know a lot of y'all going to say 100%. Because me personally, I feel the same way. It's too much going on. It's definitely too much going on. It says here, ICE is removing some of the most violent criminals in the world from our country and bring them back home where they belong. Why is Minnesota fighting this? They really want, these unalivers and drug dealers to, obviously tear up these communities and just do whatever. You know what I mean? Truly, truly sickening. One thing about it, though, what I find quite interesting about this whole thing is that you truly have some wild stuff that has been going on as these days been going by. This was actually just posted literally yesterday. You have 28 Democrat members of Congress flew into Minnesota to defend Tim Walz and the Somali fraud networks, ripping off American taxpayers. This is what I try to get people to see on how bad things are getting. I'm telling y'all. Says, watch this pathetic propaganda video of Pramila. Hopefully that's how you say her name. And gushing over to Walz like he's a hero. There are 28 members from all over the country to stand up with you, Governor. It's definitely pretty sad.
Hey, I'm here with Governor Tim Walz in Minnesota. We are so excited that we have 28 members of Congress from all over the country here to stand up with you, Governor. You have been such a strong champion to say that what is happening in Minnesota is absolutely not right. Tell us.
Well, Congresswoman, thank you. And to everybody out there across the country, thank you for standing with Minnesota. We're here today in beautiful, peaceful St. Paul, a place that we care for our neighbors, we care for everyone. This assault that we're seeing is traumatic, but what I keep telling Minnesotans, we're not alone in this fight. We're on the right side of justice, the right side of history. Please keep thinking of Minnesota. Send us your thoughts, prayers, and any help you can. And a huge thank you to members of Congress who are actually doing the job. In a few short months, this will be Madam Chair, and we'll start straightening this country out.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Me personally, I don't see how people are constantly supporting this. Like, I don't see how people can constantly support what Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar is doing. It's truly sickening. It's not right, and it's not okay at all. And I truly find it crazy. Says Ilhan Omar is out here claiming there's zero evidence of Somalis funneling U.S. taxpayer cash to these groups of terror. Y'all know what I mean. These different groups, back in Somalia, which is definitely wild. Check out what she says right here, y'all.
In this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community. What we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his coonies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abet terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger. And if the president believed that and he had evidence, he would take people to court. So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding.
But for her to say, he would be taking people to court. The thing is that President Trump and the Trump administration don't work like them. Where they take you to court and they lose. When you take it to court and actually doing things and having stuff like that and actually getting individuals arrested and doing this, doing that, you have stuff that and fouls and this and that actually gonna have you either in a prison cell or again when it comes down to deportation for Ilhan. So her saying that it's a way to work. That's how I feel. I know for a fact that I'm telling you, she think everything is sweet right now, but just wait. Just wait.
To put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities, while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact. We've seen it during the campaign where he said Asians were eating cats and dogs. We've seen his vice president repeat those lies. We've seen the media run it as a headline as if it was a fact. That is shameful. That is shameful. That is ignorant. It makes us look like a stupid nation that does not believe in truth, but traffics in lies. It makes the world mock us, and we are better than that. We are better than that as Americans.
I don't look at Ilhan Omar as American, or the Somalians that have been within this fraud. I don't look at them as American. I don't know about y'all, but I truly don't look at them. Seeing if you as American, truly, you will be doing everything that's needed. You will be doing your job at that, not stealing from taxpayers. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I'm telling y'all, it's definitely sickening. You got Benny Johnson here. Says Congressman Greg demands Ilhan Omar be charged and deported after VP JD Vance confirmed to us that she committed immigration fraud. Check it out.
What do you think should happen to Ilhan Omar given these revelations from the White House?
Well, if the evidence shows that she committed fraud to become a citizen of our country, she should be deported and charged with a crime. It's pretty basic stuff. I don't know why this hasn't been sent to the DOJ. I would imagine she's not the only one in Minneapolis that have committed immigration fraud to get citizenship in our country, and anybody that has committed an immigration fraud to become a citizen of our country should be charged with a crime and then deported. It's pretty simple. I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on those type of crimes, but there shouldn't be. And if there is, that's something that I would love to look into and try to pass a bill in Congress that has no statute of limitations, because if you committed fraud to become a citizen of our country or to get a visa to come into our country, then you should be held accountable for that and be deported. So hopefully they're going to, whatever information they have, they send that to the DOJ, and AG Bondi is going to take some action on it, because the American people are sick and tired of being taken advantage of. They're sick and tired of the fraud that is rampant, not just in immigration fraud, but you're seeing it with all of this social welfare programming in Minneapolis. You're seeing it in California as it relates to all these different social welfare programs that we are footing the bill for, that are going to people that don't deserve it, that aren't even here legally into our country. So I hope that the DOJ takes whatever evidence it is and moves forward with it.
Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it. And one thing about it is that I want, them to move forward with it. I didn't put it in the clip, but I did put it in my last clip, about Pam Bondi. I'm sure a lot of y'all know. She will be moved to a different position. President Trump have not yet, he's going to do it in the near future and announce, her new position. So, just stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. You have right here Laura Loomer. Says Vice President J.D. Vance just confirmed the Trump administration is investigating Ilhan Omar for immigration fraud. The same crime that she exposed 8 years ago. Now, this has been going on for a while, as y'all know. This has been going on for a while. I went back so far of 10 years of talking about this. So truly, says all of my original receipts, undercover investigations are still available for free on YouTube channel from 2017 to 2018. So y'all can go check that out. When you have, you pretty sure it's just Laura Loomer on YouTube. I'm pretty sure y'all can find it. This is an individual that is truly, when it comes down to, known everywhere. So I'm sure y'all find it. But let's check it out right here.
But what's so interesting is it's great that JD Vance is saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that, the Vice President of the United States is reaffirming that the Trump administration is looking into the fact that she committed fraud. However, we already know this. We already know this from when I confronted Ilhan Omar in Minneapolis in 2018. Another video that's on my YouTube channel from when I confronted Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, something like Laura Loomer confronts jihadi candidates. And I literally confronted her about marrying her brother back then. So I said it's immigration fraud. I said that it's disqualifying. Look, 7 years ago, Laura Loomer destroys jihadi candidates. Okay. You can go ahead and you can play that clip if you want. Not a big deal. If you can't find it, we're going to play it for you now. But again, if you want to go back and you want to find this video, all of these clips, right? Exposing Ilhan Omar, Linda Sarsour, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Abdul El-Sayed, all of the candidates that are now a huge problem in America, and they're pushing all of this Islamification and pro-Sharia policies all throughout our country. I exposed these people years ago, and I was banned everywhere for doing so. They called me an Islamophobe. They said I was a white supremacist. They made up a lie about me and said that I took a gun inside a mosque and that I tried to shoot the place up. Like, literally, I went to this place called Dar al-Farouk Islamic Center, which is an ISIS mosque. I mean, I say it's an ISIS mosque because they've had several members that have tried to join ISIS and literally fled to Syria so that they could take up forces with ISIS. And Minneapolis is the #1 ISIS recruitment location in the entire United States. So I expose all this, and now JD Vance and others are like, oh yeah, Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud. Well, it's like, how come the government didn't jump on this 8 years ago? Now, I'm not blaming JD Vance for that, but I'm just showing you about my record, right? Like, they're now saying things that I said 8 years ago. And you have to ask yourself, what would have happened if they would have taken action 8 years ago, our government, right? I mean, we had the entire first Trump term. They could have taken action against Ilhan Omar. They didn't. And now we're in the second Trump term. So it's not new information. Just like this information about Abdul El-Sayed supporting Islamic terrorism is not new either. If you watch my videos, you'll clearly see that I exposed this guy for being a sympathizer. And now they're trying to say, oh, it's so disqualifying. It's so disqualifying. Well, where were you 8 years ago when I was exposing Abdul El-Sayed? Why wasn't it disqualifying back then? I literally killed off his gubernatorial campaign. They should have just dug up all the oppo and all of the research that I did that's on my YouTube channel. It's free. I don't paywall my content for a reason, you guys. I want this to all be educational so that voters can see the information for themselves, educate themselves about the Islamic takeover of America, and take action against these candidates who are literally supporting Islamic terrorism, okay?
Pretty wild. I'll tell you that. Pretty wild. Said that, of warning 8 years ago, and it's truly catching up now. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely catching up now, and it's definitely crazy on just how much everyone and like I said, and I have to keep that, I have to keep when it comes down to Nick Shirley and what he did, because Nick Shirley did put a bright light on him. I definitely say that. He definitely put a bright light on what was going on. And I truly, appreciate him for that. You have Laura Loomer that obviously warned 8 years ago, but I'm glad that you have other individuals, just not Nick Shirley, but Nick Shirley and, others that have truly stayed on top of this, and not just in Minnesota, other places as well. I'm pretty sure they're on with California right now. So it's definitely getting wild, when it comes down everywhere. And California is honestly the worst when it comes down to this fraud right now. People are also outraged at the judge, and I'm going to show you a clip from President Trump, but says outrage is erupting after leftist judge Nancy Brasil, I don't really know how to say it, sentenced Somali fraudster Abdul Abubakar Ali to just 1 year and 1 day in prison, despite him stealing over $1 million for fabricating 1.5 billion fake meals in the Feed Our Future scheme. So again, it's pretty wild on what he has done. Especially when it comes down to Ilhan Omar being tied into that as well, and he's only getting a year and a day in prison, which is definitely wild. Says right here, time to arrest and deport these foreign fraudsters who have been ripping off American taxpayers. Check out what President Trump said here.
I saw something that the nursing home business and the daycare centers in particular, they went out and inspected them in Minnesota, and they didn't exist. They're knocking on doors. He happens to be a young man, Nick, nice young man. He's done a very good job. They're knocking on doors. It's like homes. and they're getting hundreds of thousands of that. They didn't exist. And in California, it's worse. It's even worse. And I spoke with Russell Vogt. I said, Russell, don't send them any money. He said, but we have a court order that we have to. Can you believe it? A judge. The judges are really hurting this country. Our judges, Justice Roberts doesn't like when I say it, but the judges are really hurting this country. And frankly, the justices, the Supreme Court, has really hurt our country too. So something that
you have right here. And it shows just how bad, when it comes down to these judges and what they're doing. It's truly, truly sickening on what they're doing, and I don't understand it. I know y'all don't understand it on how bad it is, because it's truly bad. I'll tell you, say that. Now, it's truly, truly bad on what they're doing, how they're doing it. When you having, leftist judges that's just letting them get away with anything and everything. I mean, just imagine if that was me. Imagine if that was you. I'm telling you. Prison. Throw away the key. Says Ilhan Omar is under federal investigation for making millions while in Congress. Do y'all support deporting her, or do y'all support prison time here and then deporting? Y'all let me know in the comments. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.